What is up, everybody? Today we have some great topics to cover. We will be discussing how the new Superman movie by James Gunn might be getting sued, what you should be expecting from the new Super Bowl trailers coming on February 9th. Severance Season 2 Episode 3 released today. We will be diving into that and so much more, so please hit that like button, subscribe, and comment your thoughts. The first thing I want to talk about today is Netflix released their trailer for many of the shows they have coming out in 2025. And I will say, this was a pretty cool trailer because they had the same actress going through like different atmospheres throughout different TV shows, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, so it was very cool to see. There were so many shows they announced, but I have my top 5 that I saw in the trailer. Number 1 was Stranger Things. I am not that big of a fan of this show, but there was a really cool scene they had. The girl was like sitting in the office room, and she just started floating up, and all the walls just started caving in. I didn't really watch that show, but I know the reference. Number 2 is Squid Game. The girl gets slapped across the room through the wall and ends up like in the Squid Game universe. Number 3 was Love is Blind. I was not expecting this at all, but I'm not gonna lie. I used to love this show. I watched this in high school. I watched the first season, and I still follow the people on Instagram that were on the show. So this was a pleasant surprise. Number 4, you already know they had to give us a Cobra Kai teaser. I love this show. I've watched every season. I don't even know how many seasons there are now, but I'm in it. Whenever this comes out, I guess this year, I'm going to watch it. And if you haven't watched Cobra Kai and you like Karate Kid, please go watch it on Netflix. Number 5, we have The Witcher. And yes, I know Henry Cavill was not in this season, but let me know in the comments, are you still going to watch it if Henry Cavill's not in it? Okay, the next thing we have to talk about is the new Superman movie by James Gunn getting sued by the co-creator of the literal Superman character. So this guy's name is Joe Shuster, and he is suing Warner Bros. Discovery and DC, claiming that they do not have the rights to release the movie in Canada, the UK, Ireland, and Australia. This is all because of certain copyright laws that could revert certain rights back to this guy's estate. The bad part about this is if this lawsuit isn't settled by July 11th, which is the release date of the movie, it could delay this movie in certain regions. And yes, that will affect the box office score. That will affect many things with this movie. Now, do I actually expect this to do anything to this movie? Probably not. Warner Bros. Just came out and they said they are pushing back on this. They say they have all the rights and they expect to win this case. They actually had a similar case to this like a couple years ago, and guess what? They won. Let me know in the comments if you think this will actually have any impact on the movie's release. Next up, we have the Super Bowl trailers. Before we go into this, I just want to ask you a question. How much money do you think it is to actually have a trailer in the Super Bowl? I'll give you a minute. It is $8 billion. When I first found this out, I was shocked. I was like, that is insane. Why do people even bother with this? But like, I know Super Bowl trailers are an important thing, but like you'd think with the social media these days, people would just be fine posting it on YouTube and TikTok and everything. But no, some people pay this amount of money to get their movie out. And I don't know. I just think it's crazy. So I have a big list of movies right here I'm going to try to go through pretty quickly. So we'll start off with the first one. Number 1 is something I'm pretty curious about. It is Superman, but it's not like a full-length trailer. It's during the Puppy Bowl, and I think it's focusing mainly on Crypto, the super dog. So it's like a teaser trailer. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, but we're going to have to wait and see for that one. Next, there is a possibility that we could get a second trailer for Karate Kid Legends. And like I just said about Cobra Kai, I'm so excited about this. Some people are saying there might be another 28 years later trailer, but I don't think they even need that because the first trailer did numbers. So I think that one's good. So next we have some Paramount Pictures movies. The first one is the Smurf movie with Rihanna. This is supposed to be right before the Super Bowl starts. And the plot is that it's supposed to be like a time travel musical sort of thing. I have no idea. We're just going to have to wait and see for that one. The next Paramount movie is Novocaine, starring Jack Quaid. And we've already had one trailer for this already, so we'll see if the next one's good. And then you know Paramount has to do another Mission Impossible trailer, Dead Reckoning. We've seen the trailer so many times, but we're going to get another one. Let's move on to Disney. I think it's going to be Thunderbolts, because we haven't really gotten much from that. We've already had the Captain America. It's coming out like right after the Super Bowl, so I don't think they need to do anything for that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Thunderbolts and possibly, I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, for Fantastic Four. This would be the first trailer for Fantastic Four, and I think if this happens, everyone will go crazy. Last but not least, we have Pixar, and we got one movie that's definitely going to have a trailer, the live-action Lilo and Stitch. I used to watch this show as a kid, and I loved it. We've only got one trailer so far, and it's just of him like running around. So I'm excited for a full-length actual trailer. For our last topic of the day, we have Severance. There's only been one season of this show so far, and it is the best TV show I think I've ever seen. And I literally just finished watching Season 2, Episode 3. So let's talk about a few things. If you haven't watched this show and you don't want to be spoiled, then this is a spoiler warning. You've been warned. So I'm not going to do a whole breakdown of this whole episode, but I'm going to go through a few things, and there's this one specific scene that I definitely want to touch on. First off, this episode started with an entirely different tone. Like, there was music blaring, he was in the car, Mark was in the car, and it was his Audi driving up to the Severance workspace. And I was just like, I was sitting in my theater room. I have a projector in here. See, my seats are right there. And I was just like, this is a whole entirely different show. And I thought the switch between the Indy life and the Audi life, especially in this episode, I thought it was awesome. So we make our way into the building, right? Mark's trying to find his wife, and they go through these like hallways throughout the building, and they get to the goats. I'm not entirely sure what he was doing with the goats, but we meet some pretty weird people in there. And let me just say this. That is not Helly R. So there's this scene that I really wanted to talk about, and it's between Dylan G and his wife, Gretchen G. The little creepy girl takes Dylan G into this room where he gets to have a 15-minute, what do they call it? Visitation for good behavior. It is one of the weirdest things from the little girl. I don't know what, she still creeps me out. But once we got into this visitation room, 15-minute good behavior visitation, and Dylan G started talking to his actual wife who lives in the real world all the time, it was a very weird dynamic. It was weird. I guess she came there to try to talk to Dylan and say that he needs to work really hard because he has 3 kids outside and he doesn't know that. And the real Dylan G just can't keep a job, so she just wants to talk to the other guy. It was just, I thought the scene was very well done, and I hope we get more of these types of scenes. And then finally we have Mark's Audi doing some weird experiment with his sister when he's trying to sever his brain. I think he's trying to get them together so he can have both the thoughts, but I wasn't so sure what was going on right there. If you know what was going on in that scene, please comment down below because I was confused there. And that is it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, please in the comments let me know what you think of this video. Let me know any questions you have, and please explain that last scene with Mark, please. And I will see you next time.